So in this video, we're going to cover some uneven weaving. So this was done in the ISIS piece that I shared a while ago. So if you want to have a look at the effect, you can have a look at that. Also have a look at the even weaving post, the video that I've done, to give you an idea of how this is different, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I'll explain this when you should be able to do it just from this video anyway. So I'm starting off with my pink thread and I've come up just on the top line of the square there. And I'm just laying it flat and I'm going to go in at the bottom line. So wherever that thread meets the bottom line, I'm going in there. And then I'm going back to the top beside that first place I came up. Okay, so right beside it, you want it nice and close. And again, just down on the bottom side of the square. And then I'm coming a little bit further away down at the bottom there, a little bit further away. So not right beside like I did before, but a couple of millimeters away, and I'm going back up. Now, if you prefer to always go from the top to the bottom, that's absolutely fine. Makes no difference what direction you're going, as long as you have those lines going from top to bottom or bottom to top. And again, moving a little bit further along. So you basically want 2 bars beside each other and a little bit of space in between them. That's the goal here. And for this, I'm using 3 strands of stranded cotton thread. That's a little bit too far away, so I'm just going to go back down and come up in the right place. So I'm just going to do this all the way across. And I'm starting to run out of thread there, so I'm just going to finish there, and I'll do the rest of it off screen, because I think you get the idea now. And I'll come back when I have all of the pink bars in there. So now that I have all my pink bars in there going vertically, so I have kind of doubled them up. So I have 2 bars, 2 bars, 2 bars, and just a little space in between them. Now I'm going to go in with my green thread and I'm going to be going across and weaving through those bars. Okay, so I'm going to come up just near the top there. And to weave, basically you want to alternate going over and under the threads that are there. But in even weaving, usually you would go over 1 bar under the next bar. But because I have the 2 together, I'm going to treat the 2 bars together as 1 bar. Okay, so I'm going over that first one and under the second one. You want to be careful that you don't catch any of the fabric behind. You only want to be slipping under that thread, that pink thread. Okay, so I've gone over that, under that, I'm going over, and then I'm going under the next one. Again, making sure you don't catch the fabric. If it's easier, you can use the eye of the needle rather than the point of the needle. So that's my first line in there. And I'm just going to pull it so that it lies fairly straight. If you need to use your needle just to help lay that straight, you can do that. And I'm going to go in through the fabric on the other side and pull that down there. Okay, and then I'm going to come up just a little bit down from that, and I'm going to go back across the other way. Now, if you find it easier, if you're right-handed or left-handed, to always go from the same side, that's absolutely fine. So I could go back to the right and just constantly weave from that side, but it's totally up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. So to do the second line, we're going to do the opposite of what the first line is. So where you went over on the first line, you're going to go under on the second line, okay? So I went over on that first line, so I'm going to go under on this one, and over and under, over and under, over and under. Okay, and again, just pull that out straight. You can use your needle to settle that thread, make sure it's sitting correctly, and then through the fabric. And again, I'm going to come up on that side, and I'm going to go back weaving the other way, and this line is going to be the same as the first line that we did. Okay, so you're constantly alternating between the lines. So where I went under in the previous row, I'm going to go over and then under the next one, over and under, over and under, and all the way across. Okay. Now I am doing this one quite spaced out so you can see it a little bit easier, but you can do them much closer together as well, and you won't see any of the fabric behind if you do it that way. So again, just going back across and alternating that over and under. So I think you get the idea now. So that is the finished square, and that's with it being quite spaced out. So let's see if we can just go in a little bit closer. You can see, so that one is quite spaced out. You can see a lot of the grey fabric in behind, whereas in the Isis piece, you can see those lines are much closer together, so you can't really see as much of the calico fabric in behind that. So it gives you more of a look of this pattern being the fabric, because if it's completely covered, you can't see any behind that. Okay, so that's basically it. You're, instead of doing one line for your vertical and one line for your horizontal, you're doing 2 lines for your vertical and 1 line for your horizontal. And you can space them out however you want, you know, have a bit of fun with it, play around, see what kind of effects you can get. You can always do, you know, very similar colored thread, and you get just a nice texture then, rather than the colors playing with each other. But yeah, have some fun with that. I'd love to see how you get on, and yeah, see you next time.